All right. What's going on, everybody? We're going to get ready to get started as we have a pretty big game and a big situation coming up as we take on the Miami Dolphins this week. And so, make sure y'all do me a favor and share this show out. Please spread the word to everybody. I see we have a few people up in here. We're going to get started. Kent, I hope you're feeling better, sir. Continue to get better. You are in my prayers. Hopefully everybody doing all right. I see we have Paulie D. What's going on? DO9. Yeah, we finna have some gospel tonight because we got a lot. We got some business to take care of. So y'all get ready. We're gonna start Titans and Truth in 1 minute. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into a brand new edition of Titans and Truth, TNT Tonight. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we're gonna have a great episode for you on this evening. Definitely make sure y'all help me take care of some business, and pay some bills by please sharing this show out. If you can share it out on YouTube, share it out to everybody on Facebook, on Twitter. You could take a video picture of me and put it on Instagram. Hit that share button. Also, smash that like button for me as I'm right at 1,100 subscribers. Help me get there. And make sure y'all smash that button. I want to get 50 likes tonight. I want to get that. Hopefully, to get to 75. Within the next couple of days. So, y'all help a guy out tonight, and I would definitely appreciate that. Also, as y'all can see on the ticker, you can make sure you can follow on Facebook at Titans_N_Truth. That's on Instagram, by the way. Also at Blue Enforcer. That's Blue_Enforcer EN number 4 CER 1914 on Instagram as well, and also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer, and on Facebook at TNT Enforcers. So definitely make sure y'all follow those pages, and you will be helping me as far as the show. And also, super chats are definitely appreciated. If you want to do that, it will be greatly appreciated, and I definitely would say thank you for that. So that will be very, very thankful indeed if you are able to do that. But let's get into this show, because obviously there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on tonight, and there's a lot going on in the NFL. Of course, the Titans, of course, are 10-5 after their win over the San Francisco 49ers. And I see we have a lot of people up in here again. Tighten up. What's up? Kent Woods again. You are in my prayers. I know. Hopefully you go ahead, kick COVID's tail and beat it, and you're going to be all right. We're going to make sure of that. Spicy Curry, what's going on? Tyler, what's going on? This is, of course, the last Titans and Truth broadcast before 2022. So this is the last Titans and Truth for 2021. And so we are going to definitely talk a few New Year's resolutions that I do have. Let's see. Marcellus Clay. Ready for them Dolphins. 10 days. Yeah, we had 10 days. So Marcellus, I appreciate you coming in and everything. And let's see. Reggie B, of course, in H-Town. I know he's definitely there. And Ms. Mims, as usual. How y'all doing? And yeah, tonight could be the night. I mean, this week could be the week, without a doubt, that the Titans go ahead and finish the job. That's what they have to do. They have got to finish the job on, this upcoming week. Finish the job, get the job done, and get this division. So, sorry about that, y'all. But here's what we got to go on. And so, what we're doing is the Tennessee Titans take on the Miami Dolphins this week. And we have a lot of news that came out as far as the Tennessee Titans. And first off is this. We had some guys go on the COVID list this week. And that does include Julio Jones, Bud Dupree, Jayon Brown, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Danico Autry, Buster Screen, and then Cody Hollister was put on the practice squad COVID list. Now, and then, of course, Roger Saffold, Elijah Molden, and as of today, Taylor Lewan have come off of the COVID list. So, Roger Saffold, Elijah Molden, Taylor Lewan activated back to the roster. So, that was definitely some good news that comes to that. Hopefully, we get some of these other guys off as well. And I believe they signed an offensive lineman, Cedric Ogbuhi, to the practice squad, a reserve offensive lineman brought in, definitely with Nate Davis still on the COVID list, I believe, and some other people that are there. So we just making sure we get through this COVID protocol. Now, one of the big pieces of news that have come out is the Colts. Carson Wentz is on the COVID list for the Indianapolis Colts yesterday. And of course, it was definitely out that he was indeed unvaccinated. So he was unvaccinated, and he was added to the COVID list with around 106 other NFL players that were put on this list this week. And because of that, the new protocol had been implemented. The NFL Players Association and the NFL owners have agreed to a new protocol in conjunction with the CDC that isolation time go from 10 days to 5 days. And so here's a little bit bigger, and I know COVID is a big issue and things like that. And I know, honestly, I thought this happened because I just thought, you know what? They doing this for Carson Wentz. Why? Because Carson Wentz is a starting quarterback, and I guess who the NFL deems a star player on a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, and it would be unfair to have the Colts in a unfair advantage, so to speak. And so I just found it interesting right when Carson Wentz goes on COVID. Oh, yeah, they decide to change the rule. The NFL and the NFL players decide to change the rule. But when Julio Jones and Bud Dupree go on the list on Monday, they didn't make no changes. They didn't do anything to that. So I just found it strange that when Carson Wentz goes on the COVID list, that's when the NFL and the NFL players decide to change protocol. Now I know they're saying they're doing this in conjunction with the CDC, but I just think they bailed the Colts out. Now this in the end, this kind of will help us too, because I mean that could get Julio and Bud Dupree back a lot sooner. And so here is the new protocol. Let me make sure because I don't want to cover up any details. Yeah, so I'm not covering up anything. So here's the new protocol. Isolation period is changed from 10 days to 5 days, regardless of vaccination status. It is regardless of vaccination status, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. Now, in regards, especially if you're unvaccinated, there are still some other things you have to clear. So it's not just after 5 days, you're good to go. It's not exactly that. What also has to happen is an individual must clear at least, and this was per Tom Pelissero on the NFL Network, by the way. An individual must clear at least 24 hours since their last fever, if they have any symptoms, without the aid of fever-reducing medication. Other symptoms must be resolved or improved. So that's, if you're showing, that's definitely if you're showing symptoms. This is not just for asymptomatic. And then also, individual must be cleared by a team doctor in consultation with the ICS and NFL, and any local regulations or requirements have been satisfied. Once cleared, all individuals must wear a mask for 5 days after returning, except when they're practicing or in a game. So that is, again, the new protocol. 10 to 5 days, but then you have to be clear for 24 hours after the fever without taking any fever medication. And other symptoms have to be improved or resolved. And you got to get clear by the team doctor in consultation with the NFL. And then you got to keep wearing your mask for 5 days. That is indeed the new protocol. And I did see that Brian Body Calhoun was added to the list as well. So I did notice that as well. But that is indeed the new COVID protocol that the NFL and the NFL players have agreed to. And again, I just found it interesting that this happened right after Carson Wentz goes on the COVID list. And DO9 says Wentz is going to play. We need to take care of our business. And it basically makes it so that Carson Wentz can play. That's basically what it is. Because they see that the Colts are possibly in playoff contention. And so, hey, they want the Colts in, obviously. Let's see. Tighten Up Podcast. What to do? Happy holidays. Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy New Year to everybody. We're going to have a good one. And 2022 is going to be a big year for TNT, for Titans and Truth. And so, oh, man. Yeah. And see, Kent is right. It was supposed to be, it's supposed to be harder for unvaccinated players to get back. Now it's like they're making it a little bit easier. So, yeah. And obviously, Marcellus, exactly. That was my initial thought. I just found that funny. And like when the Browns, when Baker Mayfield was on the COVID list, they didn't change the rule for him. Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian are on the COVID list for the Saints, and they got to start their 4th-string quarterback. They didn't change the rule for them. But because it's Carson Wentz, all of a sudden, they changed the rule. And that is another thing as well. See, the NFL is trying to protect their money. And they know that right now, Carson Wentz is on a contending team trying to get into the playoffs and have a very unlikely chance of winning the division. Not to mention also, they are on the in-season HBO Hard Knocks. In season. So, you know, they're trying to protect their money. And Chad Bagley, did you hear what Logan Ryan said? I did not hear that. Enlighten me on what was said with that. Tyrod said, we're missing Dupree and Autry. We're in trouble. I expect both of them to be able to come back. Like I said, with this protocol of 5 days, I think they, as long as they're asymptomatic, I think they'll be good to go. And so, and Ms. Mims, if you come on, it is I put it on the TNT Enforcers page, which should lead you to the YouTube channel. So check the TNT Enforcers page, and you can definitely share it out. You should definitely be able to do that. I didn't put any restrictions on that. I definitely didn't put any restrictions on that. So you should definitely be able to share that out to everybody. So that should not be a problem. But with all of this going on, it really makes me think. It really makes me think that that the NFL again is trying to protect the money, and that they're trying to trying to make it so they may be screwing us over, trying to make sure that the Colts are in there and stuff like that. Let's see. A lot of people saying Logan Ryan being salty. Wow. And now I want to know, where did y'all hear all of this from Logan Ryan? Was it on Twitter? Was it I'm trying to see where this was. Was it on Twitter? Was it on an interview or anything? Let me know, because I want to see where this was, where he said it. So if that is the case, if Logan Ryan is being salty towards the fan base, which Chad Bagley said, he said the Titans fan base was non-existent, and they had to out tickets half off to even get us in the stadium. Had to put tickets half off to get us in the stadium. So he did an interview. Okay. And honestly, if that is very true, then shut your pie hole, Logan Ryan. That means you would have lost a lot of respect from me. And let's see. I think they tagged me on the video. And I'll try to get it. But I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna definitely check that out. But I mean, if that's what he said about us, shame on him. Because all we did was support Logan Ryan and support this team. And, through some of the good and the bad. And, we supported him with all of the things he was doing with animals, and, when they did feeding the homeless under the Jefferson Street Bridge and all that. A lot of fans supported that. And for him to come and say some stuff like that, that definitely hits a sore spot with me. I wouldn't appreciate that. And I liked Logan Ryan, but now I lost a little bit of respect from that, So it is what it is. But let's continue on with that, because some news also that was coming out. Obviously, again, Taylor Wan activated from the COVID list. He did practice today. Also, David Long got some practice in as well today. So the injury report, and I'm trying to pull that up, is as follows, of course. David Long, full participant today. That's major. Very major indeed. That David Long, full participant. Laurel Murchison, full participant. In all, only one player did not practice, and that's Corey Levin, the backup offensive lineman. Aaron Brewer, Jack Rabbit, because I'm gonna call him Jack Rabbit for just a bit. Were limited, and Harold Landry was limited, but Lawan Murchison, David Long, all full go. Now remember, Bud Dupree, Julio Jones, they are not able to practice because of COVID. AJ Brown looks like he fully practiced. That's no problem there. Hopefully, we'll be getting the King back soon so he can knock off some rust. And so, there were reports, of course, coming out from Tom Pelissero as well that Derrick Henry could be coming back before the Week 18 matchup against the Houston Texans, maybe to knock off some rust. And I just think that would be nice if he was able to come back. But the fact that David Long practiced full go today is huge news. Very huge news that he's practicing. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I just got the video, and I'm gonna try to see if I can play it. Give me a second.
They're disappointed in the season and really the last few years. I'm wondering how much you and the players in general realize it, hear it, or talk about it even at all.
No, we realize it, and it's just not okay. Their reaction is okay. What the product isn't okay right now, and I take that to heart as a leader on this team. I haven't felt like the preparation and the work has always generated to the results on the field, and I understand that, and I take my share of ownership on that. I just try to symbolize the way to play and how I play, and control what I can control. I can't control the positions I'm putting on the field. I can't control the score all the time, but I just try to play every snap hard, especially last game, finishing that game off and stuff like that. But no, I understand that we have a great fan base, a ton of tradition. It's a privilege to play here. I played in a franchise in Tennessee where the fan base was non-existent. Like, you couldn't even get fans to the games. You had to put tickets half off to get fans to the games. So I understand the tradition of this area, the history of the NFC East, what these rivalries mean with Philly and Dallas and the Washington.
Whoa, Logan! Logan, you gonna throw shade on us like that? Oh, that's not good. That does not sit well with me because I call pineapples on that. I mean, how dare Logan Ryan say that stuff about us when there's a lot of us main fans? Yes, we were trying to get fans back in because the product was really starting to flow, especially with Vrabel as head coach. But how's he going to just sit there and lie like that and say we were non-existent? Yes. Yes. Were there a lot of times where fans were being outnumbered by other teams' fans? Yes. And it made me sick. But at the same time, you cannot say it was non-existent or we didn't care at all as far as going to the game. We were there cheering for your tail, loud and proud, wanting you to win. And you gonna do us like that? And you know what? This is the last show of 2021. I got to throw an early shut your pie hole out. To Logan Ryan, I have words for you. And it's plain and simple. Logan Ryan, shut your pie hole. And you can stay up there with a sorry tail team like the New York Giants. I understand the Giants have history. You're going to say, oh, there's a better fan base in New York? Really? New York? Giants haven't won anything since they won the Super Bowl in 2007? Giants haven't done anything since. And New Yorkers will turn on you just that quickly. It's New York. And you up there with Sorry Tail or Dorian Jackson. What is y'all record right now? What's y'all record right now? Exactly. You gonna do that to shame on Logan Ryan. Y'all are 4-11. 4-11. And you gonna talk bad about us? Wanting, daggum shame. Yeah, Logan Ryan needs to shut your pie hole. We were in the AFC Championship. Like Steve says, we were in the AFC Championship game with you, and this is how you repay us? And I mean, I'm like, oh my God. And I see we have a Miami fan in here, so obviously I'm getting somewhere if I got the opposing team up in here. Keegan, is Tennessee good? Take a look at the record. 10-4 is better than 8-7, so I would say yes. But appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning in. So shut your pie hole, Logan Ryan. You are dumb. So let's keep going, because you know what? I mean, I'll be like, yeah, like Tighten Up said from Denzel, yeah, you gonna do this to us? You gonna be spending time on your couch with your little dog, with all your little dogs and your little pooches on the couch for all time during the playoffs while the Titans are playing after we get done with you. Logan Ryan ain't got jack on the Tennessee Titans. There we go. Enough said. And you know what, y'all? I see Miami trying to talk trash like they doing something. We gonna talk about Miami in just a bit, but I guarantee you, I have some good choice words in store for Miami. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. But let's keep going, because I know I'm getting kind of off. I'm getting off topic. I know I'm losing some people right now, so I apologize for that. But let's go into stock up, stock down. And we're talking about the San Francisco game. I know it seemed like the San Francisco game was an eternity ago when the Titans beat the San Francisco 49ers, but whose stock up and whose stock is down? Let me know in the comments section whose stock is up and whose stock is down in the game. And I mean, that 49 game, that second half was definitely impressive by the Titans. Coming back from 10 points down and was able to get the job done nevertheless. And, beating a surging 49ers team that is very, very good. And now they're in a pickle to make the playoffs themselves. So, I mean, they got some work to do now in the NFC. And so who stock is up for the Tennessee Titans? And I'm actually putting in my information in just a bit. And I know, like I said, I'm not going to always get it right. Make sure I keep hitting that like button. I appreciate everybody that's up in here. But let's see. Stock up. I see Spicy Curry saying Zach Cunningham. Ms. Mim saying A.J. Brown and Amani Hooker. Shine going with Amani Hooker and A.J. Brown. And obviously, we have a jealous Dolphins fan who's being a troll saying Tannehill is down. And, Tannehill hasn't been great. And you know what, everybody? If y'all want to pile in on Kenyon, go right ahead. But Kenyon, we just having some fun with you. We like to have some fun. As long as you're respectful, as long as it's respectful, we all gonna have a good time. We don't mind a little bit of trash talking, because you know what? We gonna give it right back, as Courtney just did. Definitely. Stock up, Bud Dupree. Let's see, of course. Tyler says, if Julio doesn't go off in the playoffs, should we be keeping him in the offseason? We'll talk about that later. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely got some questions coming in, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. With that, let's see who else we have. Just a few more before we definitely go into my answer. As Mim says, stock down, O line. Okay, Dane Crookshank stock up. Let's see. Lake Show underscore Titan 864 says stock up AJ. He's back. Paulie D says NWY down is Todd Downing. Okay. So my stock up and stock down is this. Stock up, definitely that man, Arthur Juan, AJ, downtown Broadway Brown. I just AJ coming back just gives just this energy to this offense that we haven't had in the last few weeks, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love what AJ brings to the table. He's dangerous after the catch. He can, stretch the field, and the dude is just a baller. He is a baller. No doubt about it. Major baller. So I love AJ Brown. Dylan Ray Dunce, I got to give him credit because you know what? In his first start ever as a Titan, the first half and really the first quarter, it was a bit shaky. It was a bit rocky for him in the beginning for him. But I think as the game went on, he started to get comfortable. And I think his confidence is really going up. And I think this bodes well for him going forward. So I really, I kind of hope in a way maybe they move Raiders to right tackle with Taylor Lewan coming back and move Quesenberry back out as a reserve and not have Kendall Lamb because, see, Kendall Lamb is still on the COVID list as well. So, we're going to see how that goes as far as that happens. So I definitely do like what Dylan Ray had to do, and because, he did a pretty solid job even going up against a Nick Bosa, because Nick Bosa can be a menace. Now, the Titans may have given up 4 sacks, but how many did Nick Bosa have? 0. And most of the first half, Nick Bosa was on that left side. Then he had to move to the other side because he wasn't getting nowhere with Dylan Radunz. So that was pretty good. Zach Cunningham, I just love what he's been bringing. And, he's brought a lot to this team already. And it really makes our inside linebacker area a position of strength. Now that David Long is coming back, it's going to be a very interesting situation how they play this. So now they got 4 starting linebackers they could deploy. And that's granted if Jayon Brown is back, which I believe Jayon went on the COVID list yesterday. So he could be activated probably on Sunday because that will be 5 days. I'm trying to think if anybody else got added. Got added or anything, but if you got added yesterday, you could get activated on Sunday to play, as far as I'm concerned. But, if K practiced at all, so I don't know if Jayon would actually be able to go. But, I mean, you would have Zach, you have Rashaan Evans, you got David Long coming back. Man, I like our inside linebacking crew. So, I definitely like where we're going with that. But then there is stock down. And a lot of people said the O-line, and that's understood. Nate Davis has been okay, not better as we projected him to be. We projected him to kind of move up, and it just hasn't materialized for him, at least not yet, for him to be able to be successful. And so, it's been a down year for Nate Davis. Quesenberry has had his struggles. I think he's performed admirably. I just don't think he's a starting caliber guy. I think Dylan Radon should be on that right side when Taylor Lewan is not in there. Now, if they do get rid of Taylor Lewan at some point, then Radon can move to that left side. And so I think that game against San Francisco, even though it is just one game, it does make you think, could Dylan Radon really replace Taylor Lewan at left tackle? We will have to see. But I think he could definitely be a right tackle without a doubt. So that's something that I would definitely consider. But and some others, let's see. I know a lot of people saying stock down, Todd Downing. Let's see who else. Laurel Company coming in. Get them likes up. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Who else stock is down? A lot of people saying O-line stock is down. Lake Show saying Lewan stock down. Let's see. Reggie B, future stock up. Rashad Weaver. I can't wait to see him come back because, like I said, with Dupree, Landry, you got Dupree, Landry, Ola, who's improving, and then you add a Rashad Weaver. That just makes it even better. Jackrabbit Jenkins stock is up too. I called him Jackrabbit, so I gotta give him credit. Jackrabbit is up at least right now. But I agree with a lot of people. I think stock down is on the rest of the O-line. There were some struggles. Aaron Brewer did struggle some. I know Ben Jones is going to be a free agent after this year, so we could definitely be looking at a center. There is a pretty good center prospect in the first round of the draft. We may have to move up to get him, but would be nice to grab him. Of course, some guys are going to move up, move down, or whatever when the combine hits. Todd Downing, I called it to Jared and the GM. To Jarrett Stillman and company. And, he was basically saying that Downing sucks, which I agree with. And I think Jared thought that I was saying that Todd Downing was good when I wasn't. I said, he had a decent half of play calling in the second half. That's because he basically told, Tannehill basically went to AJ. And what I said on there was, just because you have one good half of play calling, that does not mean all of a sudden you're a good coordinator. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not. Oh, by the way, stock up on this guy. Our only Pro Bowler had to wear his jersey. Definitely. So, Tyler, Reggie was saying future stock up, as in next year. Because he is out for the season. Hopefully his legal situation gets worked out and everything. So we got to worry about that too. The Mem says Randy Bullock. Yeah, he did kick the game winner. I agree. So, yeah. But Todd Downing definitely has to do a better job as far as calling plays consistently. Anthony Ferguson, I just so disappointed in him. Just extremely disappointed. He was supposed to be that guy that was supposed to step up and really kind of come into his own, but obviously not that great at blocking, and even in a receiving situation, not that great either, and they just don't go to him anymore. So, that's that. And then lastly, I got to say Julio Jones. And it's mainly because of the injuries. And it's mainly because of the injuries why I have him there. But at the same time, I'm going to defend Julio because of what a lot of people have said, like CJ, like Blocksville Taneke. They don't throw him the ball. That's why Julio can't make an impact. Yes, He has been injured. That is the issue. He has been injured. However, with that being said, when he's in the game, they don't throw him the freaking ball. They don't throw him the ball. Like, when I play Madden, and we're gonna do a tribute in remembering of the late great John Madden, who passed away yesterday morning. We're gonna definitely do a tribute to him. But when I play Madden and I'm on offense, I'm sorry. Yes, I run the ball with Derrick Henry, but you know what I make sure I do? I look for where Julio, look for where number 2 is, and I look for where number 11 is. And if nothing else, I'm making sure both of those characters get the football. I'm making sure I throw their way. I don't care how many interceptions I throw. I'm going to make sure Julio and AJ get the freaking ball. That's what I do. So, that's just me. Arthur Smith in his offense? Oh, yes. I miss Arthur Smith. Because he knew how to run this offense. He definitely knew how to run this offense. So, yeah. AJ and Julio were my number 1 targets on Madden. I make sure I get them the ball. And I hate I couldn't bring up the stats on Madden that I have, at least right now, because I know I haven't played Madden in about a month. Because, I kind of get busy and stuff like that. I need to start playing more. And I like that. FJR says, Titan got that grit. Our defense is flying around. Yes, they are. But they got to throw Julio the ball. That's all I'm saying. Throw the man the freaking ball. So, I know you have had a lot of time to think about it. Who is your two-tone blue star of the week? Let's keep going with this show. Who is the star? I think this is a easy answer for everybody. I think this is going to be a simple answer. I want to get y'all thoughts, but I think I'm going to give y'all 2 guesses, but you only need 1. Let's see, I'm going to read some other comments. Downing, play calling is still trash. Let's see. Tyler saying chance of rain and snow. Actually, yes. In the beginning, there was. But as of right now, I'm looking at the Weather Channel right now. For Sunday, it looks like it's going to be a high of 40. Cloudy early with partial sunshine expected late. High around 40. Let's see. I don't see any rain or snow in the forecast. I know there's potential for heavy rain on Saturday, but doesn't look like there's anything that's going to be rain or snow. So Sunday looks like it's going to be pretty clear. Lakeshore said, I would definitely put Radons in over Questenberry, right tackle, not Lawan's back. That's what I would do. I wouldn't mind that at all. But let's see. Obviously, I think, let's see. Paulie D, Tannehill, 22-29, key last minute 23-yard run, put us in position to win. Now, that is true. Tannehill did get a big run to put us in position to win. But I think, yeah, AJ got it. Let's see. AJ or Jackrabbit. Let's see, from CJ. Drumstar says AJ. Laurel says AJ. Miss Mim says AJ. Let's see. Spicy Curry says AJ. Let's see. But I think it's pretty darn obvious who the two-tone blue star of the week is, and that is that man, Arthur Juan. Pay that man, A.J. Brown, who gets the two-tone blue star of the week. 11 catches, $145, and the score was tremendous in this game. And Tannehill gave him 16 targets, so we know he trusts him. He trusts him like crazy. So, Ms. Mim said, thank God no snow. Yeah, no snow indeed. And I mean, right now, I am going to be at the game on Sunday. My plan is to be there. I'm actually going to be pretty much at one of the hotels right by the stadium. So I'll be within walking distance. So I won't be late getting into the game this time. So I definitely like that. Yes, two-tone blue star of the week, definitely A.J. Brown. But of course, whenever there is a star of the week, there's also a dunce of the day. And got to see what y'all thinking about with that. So, who is your dunce of the day? Who didn't look good in the game against the 49ers? Now, you could probably say offensive line or David Quesenberry, Aaron Brewer. You could probably say Todd Downing for the first half, stuff like that. So there's quite a few ways you could go. Obviously, Jimmy G throwing a couple of picks could be one as well. So I think I see a lot of people saying some of the same stuff. D09 says Downing. Ms. Mim says Downing. CJ says Downing. Steve Crosio says Julio. Wow, Spicy Curry said Christian Fulton. Now, Fulton did have a couple of times where he kept slipping. He kept slipping a bit. So I didn't exactly like that. Paulie D says O-line for holding call. Now, I will say this. There was one particular play where the holding call was a great call because Quesenberry was blocking Nick Bosa. And if Quesenberry doesn't hold on that play, Nick Bosa has a kill shot on Tannehill. I mean, Nick Bosa would have had Tannehill locked and loaded and ready to destroy if Quesenberry doesn't hold. So that is one time where holding benefited us. And if it wasn't for that hold, Tannehill gets creamed because his back gets turned. He ain't even seeing it as far as that. I think he's dropping back and he was finna roll out. His back was, I think, a little bit turned and he had a kill shot. He was aiming to his left. He's not even seeing it coming and he would have got killed. So that was good. So I know a lot of people saying dunce of the day. Sean going with Rashaan Evans dropping a pick. Wow. Kenya saying 49 defense is trash. No, they're not. Now, in the passing game, maybe a little bit. But their front is definitely not trash. Definitely not. So, a lot of people, I think, are going with the obvious. I'm going with Todd Downing as well. Dunce of the day. That's pretty easy. Julio, I wouldn't give it to him simply because they just don't throw him the ball. And I don't like that. CJ said Logan Ryan, well, we've already told him to shut his pie hole. And I know Kenyon is trying to defend Tua, making it look like Tua is the second coming of Jesus. No, he's not. No, he's not. So we're going to definitely see about that. But now let's get some questions out because I'm going to go ahead and kind of catch up with the show because I know I've been kind of talking everybody's head off. But let's get to one of my favorite segments of the show and yours too. It is time for PMB. All right, y'all. So welcome into Pick My Brain. I'm gonna get a few questions out. I know there was I'm trying to scroll back up because there was a question somebody asked me. Let's see, Spice says Weaver coming back. No, he's on IR. He's out for the season. He'll be back next season. I'm trying to think. I know there was a question somebody asked me early on. So definitely get me your questions. And I'm going to definitely try to answer them as quick as I can. If I don't get to all of them, I do apologize. Blame my brain, not my heart. Let's see. I'm trying to see what's going on. I can't remember the question. If you asked me a question earlier and I didn't get to it, go ahead and put it down at the bottom and let me know. Let's see. Lakeshell says, why do we keep trotting Ferkser out over Pruitt? He flat out stinks. I don't know. Pruitt should be tight end number one. I definitely agree. Should definitely be tight end number one with that. Well, I definitely like Michael Pruitt. And I think we need to definitely draft a tight end within the first few rounds and everything. So let's see. Ms. Mem says, why every time they always posted about the Titans players reserve? Why is it out every time they always posted about Titan players on the reserve COVID list? Well, they have to do that. They have to report it. You know, as far media has to report who's on the COVID list and who not, because hey, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So, you know, it's a very touch and go subject as far as COVID is concerned. It has to be reported. And that's been happening all over the league because, again, over 106 players within the last few days have been put on the COVID list all over the league. So it's not just the Titans. It's happening everywhere, and it has to be reported. Which players will we get back off of COVID? Not entirely sure. Depends on how everything is going. Depends on the vaccination status, which I know that's some things that we don't know. Obviously, Roger Saffold, Taylor Warner, Elijah Molden are back now off the COVID list. Bud Dupree and Julio Jones, among others, was placed on the COVID list on Monday. And so they have a chance, I believe. Let's see. I believe by Saturday, Julio, Bud Dupree, they could come off the list on Saturday and be able to play. They'll still be attending meetings via Zoom and stuff like that. So they're still going to get their team meetings and their position meetings and stuff like that. And they can work out in isolation. They just cannot be at the facility until after 5 days. So I think Julio, NWI, some of those guys also could come back off of the COVID list, I believe, before Sunday. And so that's Julio, Bud Dupree. I think Jayon could come off on Sunday, along with, I believe, Danico Autry, I think, might have been on there on Monday as well. And so as long as they were vaccinated, I think they should be able to come back before the game on Sunday. Let's see. Spicy Curry said, did you see Darrington Evans complaining about Madden when we lost to the Steelers? Doesn't seem like he's focused on football. Darrington Evans is out for the year again. And I think he's already probably going to be gone after this year. And that was just an unfortunate draft pick in that just god-awful 2020 draft class, where right now the only guy that's really giving you anything is Christian Fulton. Because and Chris Jackson to an extent, because Isaiah Wilson, who is now possibly going to get a chance with the Giants to possibly play, because of their injury situation, he was a waste. Then Darrington Evans does nothing, keeps getting hurt. Obviously, Cole McDonald didn't do nothing at quarterback. He's out of the league. Laurel Murchison and, He's coming back from injury, played a little, but not really making an impact. Chris Jackson, decent, has played decent. So really, Chris Jackson and Christian Fulton are the only ones out of that draft class that have really given us anything. So I don't really care about Darrington Evans because Darrington Evans ain't going to be here next year anyway. Paulie D says, if David Long is available, which linebackers do you start? Ooh, that's a good question. That's an excellent question. And I honestly don't know. But if David Long can start, I would be honest, I would go David Long, Zach Cunningham. I think that's where I would go as far as that. And I'm tripping off of Kia, but I appreciate Kia joining the show and everything. Let's see. But no, I honestly did not see that. And I don't really care. You can't help the team. So, Tyler said Jonathan Taylor wouldn't be where he is without that offensive line. And honestly, if it wasn't for Derrick Henry being hurt, and I've said this before, a lot of people trying to, pump up Jonathan Taylor possibly for MVP. I'm like, look, Jonathan Taylor, let me clarify this right now. Jonathan Taylor is a really good running back. I really liked him out of Wisconsin. I looked at him and I thought he would be a nice backup to Derrick Henry. It'd be nice to have him right now as a backup, starting now. I think he'd be doing some very good even behind this offensive line. But, I mean, no shade to Deontay Foreman or Dontrell Hilliard. They have been serviceable and have done very well. But the only reason Jonathan Taylor is even getting the praise that he's getting is because Derrick Henry is hurt. That's it. That's it. If Derrick Henry's not hurt and is still doing what he's doing, which he will probably be over 1,800 yards right now, Jonathan Taylor wouldn't even be thought of right now. Wouldn't even be getting a second look if it wasn't for that. So, and Kenya, yes, Miami, 7 games in a row, very impressive, but you only really have one quality win, and that's over the Ravens. That's it. Other than that, who have you played? So let's see. Do you think the Bengals will have a good chance of beating the Chiefs and the Titans taking the number 1 seed? That is very important, and we're going to definitely talk about playoff scenarios because the Bengals are, kind of cooking on offense a bit. I think that's going to be a heck of a game. That's going to be a heck of a game. And, we're going to definitely be watching that game with a lot of intent. We're definitely going to be paying attention to that game in particular. Bobby Harris said, what happened to Weaver's court case? Last time I checked, I think they pushed it back. If I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find out. Let's see. Now, last time we got any update was that a preliminary hearing was pushed back to November 17th. So I don't know what has happened since then. And now Rashad, and this is from Paul Kaharski on November 17th, Rashad Weaver's court case had been postponed for a second time. He's facing a misdemeanor simple assault charge in Pittsburgh. Hearing is now January 19th, 2022. And so, they've pushed it back twice on that. Now it's back to January. So I don't know what that means. We'll find out at some point what will go on. So we're definitely going to see. Let's see. I'm going to take about 2 more questions, and then we're going to keep going. FJ also said, how do you really feel about the O-line against Miami D-line? Ryan got to stay up tight. We're going to talk about that because, Kenyon, I'm going to tell you, Miami has a pretty nice front, has a pretty nice defensive front. No lie about that. We faced a good front against the 49ers. The Miami front, is just as good. Is very good. No doubts about it. Let's see. Let's see. Tide Rossi said, do you think the last game was a turning point for Tannehill this season? That's a good question. I think he can build off of that. Just no turnovers. Just no turnover. I think that second half was incredibly encouraging. I just hope that he will learn to go to Julio Jones. Throw the ball to the guy. Him and AJ, if you throw the ball to both of them consistently, good things are going to happen. Instead of AJ getting 16 targets, maybe give him 12 and give Julio 8 to 10. If you do that, because out of those 12, I think AJ catches 9 and can still be productive. Julio, out of 8 to 10 targets, catches 7. You get 8 catches, maybe like I'll say 90 to a buck 10 for AJ. Julio, you get 7 for maybe 80 or 90 and a touch or something like that. That's good. That would be good. So that's really all I got to say about that. But thank y'all for pick my brain, and thank y'all for the questions that y'all did send out. But now we're going to go ahead and get into the Miami Dolphins, because right now they're the next opponent. And so let's take a look first at the last game for the Miami Dolphins. And that is that the Miami Dolphins, of course, on Monday night defeated the New Orleans Saints and Ian Book 20-3. Tua threw, went 19 of 26, 198 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Phillip Lindsay and Duke Johnson, the running game was not very effective. They only combined for 26 carries, 75 yards combined. Now, Jalen Waddle did go off. 10 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. And the Dolphin defense sacked Ian Book 8 times and got 2 picks. And they held New Orleans to 167 total offensive yards in the game. So, Miami, winners of 7 in a row. They're 8-7. Right now, they are in the 7th spot as of right now. And if you take a look at the standings, that's what it is as of today. Kansas City right now in number 1 at 11-4. They've already clinched the AFC West. So they've already clinched the division. They have a playoff spot. Of course, the Titans are second. They have a chance to clinch this week at 10-5. Cincinnati at 9-6. They're playing Kansas City next. And they are, that's going to be a big game because, number one, Cincinnati has a chance to not only take a stranglehold on the NFC North, they may have a chance to clinch the AFC North. So, I mean, that is, that's something that is going to be extremely important. That's why this game against Kansas City is going to be huge for them. Buffalo in the driver's seat in the East. Then you got Indianapolis at 9-6 in the 5th spot, Miami in that 7th spot, and the biggest loser from the weekend being the New England Patriots. They were the number 2 seed going in. They lose to Buffalo. We beat San Francisco. They are now down to the 6th spot in the wild card. So as of right now, it will be Tennessee and Miami in round 1, Cincinnati against New England in Cincinnati, Buffalo and Indianapolis in Buffalo. Kansas City would have the first round bye as of right now, if that were the case. So there's a lot to play for a lot of teams. And, Kenyon says, y'all had Derrick Henry, y'all possibly could win the Super Bowl. Well, here's the thing, Kenyon. King's coming back. And you better hope in the playoffs, y'all ain't got to deal with us again, because we are going to take care of that. John Ray says it's going to be a war. this weekend. My brother's a diehard Dolphins fans. It's all about the Titans here. Hey, that's true, but I of course appreciate anybody that comes and tunes in with that. So and Josh says Tannehill will play with a chip on his shoulder. And I've been hearing Tannehill is like, he's psyched for this game. He's psyched for this game against his old team, from what I hear. So that could bode well. We're definitely going to see that. Y'all should be starting talking about the draft right now, because I don't think y'all going anywhere. I mean, too little too late for y'all to start winning 7 in a row. So we're definitely going to see. But let's get into this game with the Miami Dolphins. And here are some of the numbers. I'm going to give some of the numbers on Miami and everything before we go into the playoff scenarios and what the Tennessee Titans have to do to win. Offensively, here are the numbers. The Tennessee Titans are 15th scoring offense at almost 24 points a game, 18th in yards. They're 4th in running the ball, but 25th in passing the ball. And unfortunately, we've given up 45 sacks. Not very good for the offensive line. We haven't thrown the ball as much as we needed to, but we've ran the ball well. So that's something that we hang our hats on, is the run game. For the Dolphins, 21st in points per game, at just over 20 points a game, 24th in total offense. They're almost dead. They're almost last. They're close to last in the league in running the ball, at 30th at just under 87 yards a game, and 15th in passing the ball. And Tua and Jacoby Brissett have been sacked a combined 35 times. And that's on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively is where I think both teams hang their hats. The Titans are top 15 in scoring defense, middle of the road, right, kind of where we would like them to be. 13th in total defense. They struggled a little bit against the pass. I mean, and that was mostly Deebo Samuel doing damage, trying to come back when we took the lead. So we're 26th against the pass. I just don't think those numbers are indicative of how good the Titans have been, especially up front. But we are number 2 against the run. And we did very well against one of the better running teams in the league in San Francisco. Miami, also pretty good on defense. They're 10th in scoring defense. They're 15th in total defense in yards, 7th against the run, 15th against the pass, and they do lead the league in sacks at 45. The Titans are -5 in turnover differential. With 2 turnovers we gained against the 49ers. Miami -1 in turnover differential. So defensively, Miami is no slouch. I will definitely say that. And, this is why. If you take a look at some of the stats offensively for Miami, Tua has 2,339 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions on the year. Jalen Waddle, man, he could be in line for AFC Rookie of the Year. He has 96 catches, 941 yards, 5 touchdowns. So he is 59 yards away from 1,000, 4 catches away from 100. And so clearly Jalen Waddle is Tua's number 1 guy. They obviously have a connection from their days in Alabama. So that, is definitely something. And then there's Mike Gesicki, the tight end, which I will say this. I don't know what I got to see what is Mike Gesicki's contract situation is. If he could be had, let's see. In 2018, he signed a 4-year deal. And I know a lot of people was talking about possibly trading that the Dolphins would trade Gesicki during the season, which I hate the Titans did not go for. But let's see. He's actually, he will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. So Mike Gesicki is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He signed a 4-year deal in 2018, and he's played out all 4 years. If I'm the Titans, I'm jumping all over Mike Gesicki if I got a chance to sign him. If I got a chance to sign him, we need a tight end. I think he's a guy that Tannehill could be somewhat familiar with. So, well, that was his rookie deal. So, he could be in line for a new contract, next year. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not. I'm trying to see when was Ryan Tannehill in Miami. Was he in Miami with Gesicki? Let's see. With Gesicki, maybe his rookie year. Let's see. Well, yeah. He played 11 games. He was there with Gesicki, with his rookie year. And let me see what was Gesicki's stats. And I know I'm kind of going off the beaten path a little bit. I'm just trying to see, did they really have much of a connection? So that way, if we're talking about possibly bringing him over, he had 22 catches, 202 in his first year in 16 games. So maybe that chemistry will build. I wouldn't mind that. At all if that is the case. So Gesicki, 67 catches, 2 touchdowns, 700 yards. Myles Gaskin, 590 yards and 3 TDs on the ground. Of course, they also got Phillip Lindsay and Duke Johnson, who are getting more carries now. So I would not mind. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know why my microphone just acts up. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So you got some decent players on offense, mainly Tua, Waddle, and Gesicki are the main weapons on the offense. On the other side, on defense, they got some guys too. Jerome Baker leads their team in tackles at 79, has 4.5 sacks and a pick. Jalen Phillips, man, that dude is a monster. 8.5 sacks on the year. I would have, definitely wouldn't mind having him with Dupree and Autry. With Dupree and Landry, as far as pass rushing is concerned. And then Emmanuel Agba with 9 sacks, and then Xavier Howard, who I think a lot of experts wanted the Titans to trade for mid-season, has 4 interceptions, but I think we're okay at defensive back. But Miami's got some players. They do have a nice pass rush. That much is a fact. So as we get into the 4 points to victory, here are the clinching scenarios for the Tennessee Titans. This is what the Tennessee Titans can do going in, getting into the playoffs. For the AFC South, all they got to do is either win, beat the Miami Dolphins, or the Colts lose to the Vegas Raiders. A Titan win or a Colts loss wins us the division. So if we take care of our business, we got the division. Or a Colts loss. Now, the Titans can also clinch a playoff berth if they lose, which I don't foresee that happening. If they lose, they could still clinch a playoff berth with two of these three teams having to lose, between the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Patriots. Two of those three teams have to lose, and the Titans get into the playoffs. So if the Chargers and the Ravens both lose, Titans are in. Chargers and Patriots, or Ravens and Patriots. If either of those two out of those three teams, Ravens, Chargers, Patriots, two of those three lose, Titans are in no matter what. So that is the playoff scenario for the Tennessee Titans. Miami doesn't have any clinching scenario because they're still fighting for the wild card. But the Titans have a chance to pretty much take care of business and wrap up the AFC South, no questions asked. And Paulie D, you're right. We do not want to backdoor our way in. We need to go ahead and earn our way. Absolutely. And, of course, Kenyon's still being a hater talking about Indy going to win the South. No, they're not. Let's just put it right there. And again, I appreciate Kenyon being here, watching the show and stuff like that, but everybody, get them. Get them. Josh says, who has Miami actually beat that is a top-tier team besides Baltimore? Exactly. Miami has beat nobody. Oh, I hate that when it happens when I'm trying to do something on ESPN and they want to play music. I'm like, stop playing music. So I'm like, besides the Patriots and the Ravens, who have you beat? You beat the Jets twice. You beat the Giants. You beat the Panthers, who stink. And you beat a 4th-string quarterback in New Orleans. Who have y'all beaten? Nobody. So that's that on that. And also, we got to take care of our own business, not worry about Cincinnati. Yes. And here's the thing also. If we lose and Kansas City wins, Kansas City locks up the number 1 seed. So we got to win to try to stay in the race for the number 1 seed. If we lose, our chances of the number 1 seed are practically gone. But Cincinnati's going to take that game seriously because if Cincinnati wins, a Cincinnati victory clinches the AFC North for them. A Cincinnati victory or a Baltimore loss clinches the division for them. So believe me when I tell you, they're going to take that seriously. Now, if Indy beats Vegas, they get into the playoffs. Now, if Indy beats Vegas, they're in the playoffs, at least. But for Cincinnati, they win the division. So believe me, they're going to try to win because they want to wrap up the division too. So I like our chances. So here we go. To as a top 23 starting quarterback. Yeah. FJ, their defense is legit. I do agree. We're wearing the light blue jersey, navy blue pants for the game. And we're going to definitely see some things could definitely go right for us. But let's get into the blue enforcer 4 points to victory so we can get out of here because I still got to talk John Madden as well. All right. Now we have the Blue Enforcer, 4 points to victory. And this is how the Tennessee Titans can get this win. I see we have there's 25 likes on there. Need to get that up, y'all. Everybody that's watching, hit that like button. Smash that like button for me. So, and I would definitely appreciate that. Also, super chats are appreciated as well. The Blue Enforcer, 4 points to victory. These are how the Tennessee Titans can get the AFC South and defeat the Miami Dolphins. Number one, defensively, play with controlled chaos. Keep Tua contained in the pocket. Get after him. He likes to try to roll out, especially to his left, basically to his left because he's a left-handed quarterback. So that is his predominant side, is the left hand. So, he likes to be, maybe force him right to where, he may have to throw off of his back foot. Also, you got to watch Jalen Waddle. That dude is fast. And you can't give him any room, because if you give him room, he can kill you with his speed. He's basically another version of Tyreek Hill. They use him in a lot of different ways. They try to put him in the backfield. They shift him everywhere, trying to confuse you. So you got to know where Jalen Waddle is on the field. And, if you're going to bring pressure, probably with 4, maybe 5, confuse him with some stunts, with some twists, line some guys up in different places, which the Titans do tend to do. Because there have been some times where, like especially against Kansas City, where you see Harold Landry and Bud Dupree lined up on the same side of the defensive line. And things like that. You see some time where Danico Autry is outside and, Landry is inside. So you do see some stuff like that. But definitely try to confuse Tua with some looks and things like that, maybe with some blitzes and coverage, and get him to make some mistakes. But keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get out. He is athletic, but don't let him escape. Do not let Waddle burn you deep, because he is a speedy one. And definitely affect his passing motion, and that can lead to some interceptions. Number 2, you know how in Back to the Future, Doc Brown told Marty, he says, Marty would ask a question like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And Doc would tell him, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. In this instance, you got to think one-dimensional. Play to your strength. Shut down the run. And when I say think one-dimensionally, what I'm saying is make the Dolphins one-dimensional. Tackle up on Phillip Lindsay. Tackle up on Duke Johnson. Force them to have to pass the ball to win the game. That's not where Tua wants to be. Tua does not want to be, definitely doesn't want to be where he has to pass the ball a whole bunch to win the game. So that is something that you definitely have to do. You make it so you got to put a lot of pressure on Tua, and Tua could fold. That's what you want. That's what you definitely want. And that is definitely something that the Titans can do to win the game. Point number 3, and this goes to the offensive line. You're facing a very good defensive front. As in next Friday, what the guy said, your top flight unarmed security, best in the whole wide world. You got to defend Tannehill with your own life. And you got to be willing to die for this stuff too. So, Titan offensive line has got to do something. You got to be able to protect Tannehill and keep him up, and you got to protect him. You've got to defend him with your life and keep him upright. This is the number 1 team in the league in terms of sacks when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. So you've got to protect Tannehill and don't let him get on the ground. And last but not least, TCB. Take care of business. Take care of your own business. Don't focus on anybody else but the Miami Dolphins. Get AJ the ball early. Be patient and consistent with this defense that you're facing. Because again, Kenyon, I'm giving them credit. The Miami defensive front is very good. That is true. And they do have some very good players at all three levels. Xavier Howard, I think, is good. Brian Jones, not a bad corner either. I do think the middle of the field could be attacked, maybe for Miami. So, we have to be patient. We have to be patient. We have to be methodical and just don't turn the ball over. If you do those things, by the end of the day, the Tennessee Titans will be your 2021 AFC South division champs. Back-to-back division champs. So that is something that they have to do. Can your battery running low? See, that's what you get. You talking trash, your battery running low. Need to recharge. And so can you talk about, it'll be hard for the Titans Sunday? No, it's going to be hard for Miami. Good luck. Good luck. So that's what they're going to have to do. Let's see. Smiles _ says, go Titans. Charger fan. I definitely appreciate the Chargers showing some love. Charger, nation. I don't think they have any clinching scenarios that I know of. Let's see. They're probably trying to stay in the race too if Miami loses so they can get back in the 7th spot. So I think that, but I appreciate your smiles for tuning in. Make sure you come back, subscribe to and Kenyon, you too. If y'all subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already, and just, be a part of it. We welcome all fans and stuff like that, even if you're not a fan of the Titans, because I do have some more things coming in the upcoming year. So I'm pumped too. I'm going to be there. And I'm actually staying at a hotel right by the stadium. So I'm going to be within walking distance of the stadium. So, Paulie D said, I'm taking order for AFC South championship hats. I wouldn't mind. So, that's the 4. Take care of business. Keep Tanny up. Think one-dimensionally. Make them one-dimensional. And have some controlled chaos. And we will be AFC South division champs. Now, another thing that we have to do is we have to pay tribute before we do get out of here. We do have to pay tribute to one of the biggest legends in NFL, in football, in history. And that is, we have to pay tribute to the late, great John Madden. As a lot of you know now, John Madden passed away yesterday at the age of 85. His cause of death is unknown at this time. But I think anybody who's anybody has been touched by John Madden. Whether if you're older and remember him coaching for the Oakland Raiders in the 60s, to, listening to him on broadcast, to the video game, which I think a lot of us could resonate with that. But he's touched you in some particular way because he's done that for me. And so, John Madden is one of the reasons I do this. Give getting into football, learning football. He's one of the reasons I do this. And here are some career things as far as John Madden is going. I did some graphics about him. And let's start at the beginning. He started coaching at Allen Hancock College in California in 1960. He started off as an assistant coach in 1960 and then ended up in 1962 becoming the head coach of that college. And then he ended up moving on, becoming defensive coordinator at San Diego State for 3 years from 1964 to 1966. And then he got called up to the NFL. And remember, he was picked, I believe, in 1958. He was picked in the 21st round of the NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. And unfortunately, due to an injury in training camp, was never able to play a down of NFL football. But he had no idea at that time what history had in store for him. He ends up becoming a linebackers coach for the Oakland Raiders in 1967. And then in 1969, he was hired by Al Davis at the time to become the head coach of the Oakland Raiders at the young age of 32. At that time, the youngest NFL head coach of all time at that time. And to this day has 112 career wins, 103 career regular season wins, and 9 playoff victories. Highest winning percentage ever. Did it in 10 years. 10 years for the Raiders. Advanced to 5 AFC championship games in 7 years. But had some issues winning them. But he did get a Super Bowl in Super Bowl 11 with the Raiders defeating the Minnesota Vikings. Got his 1 Super Bowl. And in 2006, he was indeed inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, of course, we go to number 2, and that is his broadcasting career. Started broadcasting for CBS in 1979, and then, of course, you see it on here, the legendary duo was joined by a man he covered 11 Super Bowls in his career, but a man he would call 8 Super Bowls with himself in the late Pat Summerall. And man, I know they're going to be calling some great angel football games in heaven together. In Pat Summerall in 1981, they call 8 Super Bowls together. And he called games and worked for all 4 major TV networks: CBS, ABC, NBC, and Fox. Nearly made around $2 million a year, and then when he worked for NBC, was making $5 million a year. That's great for sportscasters at that time. And then he called his final game in the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 43, in February of 2009. That was where the Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals 27-23. That was his final game, and he would then retire from broadcasting. And of course, what he's also known for are the Madden video games. And as y'all can see here, I have all of the covers right there. Famous for the Madden video game franchise with EA Sports. He had his first release of the video game in 1988. It was called John Madden Football. And since then has sold more than 130 million copies of the game and has at least 6 Hall of Famers gracing the cover. The next Madden that comes out in 2022, it will mark 33 years of Madden. 33 years, I want to say. Well, actually, it'll be 34 years, excuse me. This was 33. It'll mark 34 years. So I had that incorrect. But John Madden, gone too soon, leaves us at the age of 85. He leaves behind, and let me see, he leaves behind his wife. He leaves behind a wife and 2 kids. Rest in peace, John Madden. Died at the age of 85. And we're going to get ready to wrap up the show tonight. And I'm going to go back and show that graphic once again with that. But again, Sunday's going to be exciting. Definitely got to get a chance to clinch this division. CJ saying, love Madden. Rest in peace. Paulie D says, rest in peace. 1 knee equals 2 feet. Like I said, if you haven't been touched by John Madden in any way, I don't know where you've been. Never had a losing season as an NFL head coach. Yeah. So, Drumstar says, rest in peace, Madden. You are a legend, and I know you will be looking down and cheering on the Titans in the Super Bowl. Hey, I would love to hear, I mean, that voice. I would love to hear that voice of Madden calling the Super Bowl from heaven with Pat Summerall, you know, with the telestrator, if you know what I mean. So, everybody, I'm going to get out of here on a quiet note. Again, make sure y'all share the show out. I'm just going to play this a little bit. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all find those pages and make sure you follow this show. Follow Titans and Truth. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure y'all spread the word out to everybody. And also, if you want some TNT gear, make sure y'all hit me up as well for t-shirts, for hats. Hit me up. I can get you in contact with the people that's making them, and we can definitely get you that TNT swag. So make sure y'all definitely do that. And I thank y'all again for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. And y'all have a very good rest of your night. Sunday, I will definitely try to do a post game after the game, probably from the hotel room in Nashville at some point, or when I do return to Memphis, I will do a post game. But we will leave you with this. Once again, rest in peace to the late, great John Madden. Will definitely try to bring home that AFC South crown. But once again, thank you to everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for sticking with me for this hour and a half. I've talked your head off, but thank y'all. Good night, and see y'all Sunday.